Hi there, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Goonies World. I am Johnny Farrow, also known as Sean, and with me, as always, is Meanie, also known as Ryan.
Hello.
And, of course, we have the eponymous Goonie himself, also known as Colin.
Oh, hello.
And Colin will be taking us through the 5th installment of a game of his own design called Exfanguination, in which we are vampires, dude.
Yeah, you are.
We're vampires in the 1980s in the fictional California town of Pitchwood, which is in our Jupiter Springs universe for you aficionados of the program. Well,
yep.
Anyway,
it's not too far away. And you've found yourselves in this parking lot. You're talking to Rudy. You've got the R.H. Knoll blood from the Bloodmobile, just one bag of it. And while you're talking to Rudy, he all of a sudden took out this cross and told you to give him the blood. And I believe that you guys both punched him or something, but didn't really do any damage. And that's when he transformed into a werewolf. And so I think we will have to start right away with some combat. And so I guess roll a d12 for initiative.
Okay.
Both of us, or?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it's just for your party, whoever wants to roll that.
Well, I will let Sean go.
Yeah, I already rolled it, and I got an 11, so let's go with that.
Nice.
All right, and I'll give Rudy a chance to see if he gets a 12. And he doesn't. So you can go first, but, just to recap, he is in werewolf form now. He had ripped off his clothes, and also that cross that he was holding, he dropped that as well because he wants to use his hands, his claws. And I also wanted to remind you that drinking werewolf blood is poison.
That's right.
You were told that during your orientation, so you would not be doing that. Yeah, you've got this. I made a mistake last time saying that you didn't have any blood to heal yourselves, but of course you do have the R.H. Knoll blood. It's up to you
God
whether
knows
you want to drink
what that
that.
is.
Yeah. But just just keep that in mind that you do have that. Because when you guys punched him previously, you had to roll hard rolls, so this might be a difficult fight. We'll see how it goes. It's your turn, though. And
you got any ideas, Cam?
Not really. I think this guy's kind of a badass.
I know, but watch this. And I'm going to shapeshift into a cougar. No, it's something like around the size of a wolf, so I won't go with a puma or a mountain lion, but I'm going to go for the biggest fucking cougar that the rules allow me to transform into. And I mean like a cat, not like a milfy, older lady.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's going to be on our next game, though, Cougars, the role-playing game, but we'll worry about that one in the future. But no, I want to transform and shapeshift into a big cat.
Okay.
A black one.
to transform, it's still a challenging roll.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to do that. And, oh shit. I got a 1.
Okay. Well, you just fart.
Like, watch this.
You're like really like tensing up and
oh no. That was not very cool, dude. Let's see what you can do.
I'm going to attempt to, and I just can't imagine this working, but I can't think of anything else, so I'm going to attempt to summon a swarm of rabbits and see if I can get this wolf distracted.
He'll chase him.
Rabbits, okay. Yeah, roll a challenging roll of 6 or higher.
Oh, 5.
Oh no.
Okay, well you attempt to call out to these rabbits, but they're just munching away on carrots and lettuce, and they fuck you, man. So, all right, so it's his turn. You stupid fucking blood suckers. And he's going to try to swipe at Dirge.
He's transformed, right? But tell me he's still wearing the Tony Soprano style tracksuit, though, because I think that's a good look for him.
But he ripped it off.
Oh, he did.
He had the snaps on like it was a
that's
stripper.
right, the stripper clothes. That's right.
Yeah.
But I like that image of a werewolf in that kind of outfit, but oh well. Oh,
yeah.
He's striking at me.
Well, he's still wearing, I'll say he's still wearing some gold necklaces, though.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. And so he's going to make a swipe at you with his claws, and he only has to make an easy roll. And he rolled a 9.
Uh-oh.
So that would be 6 damage.
Damage to me, I know.
You're already down half.
I know. That's a terrible blow.
I don't think we're going to survive this, Dirge.
I know. I will grunt and stagger backwards.
Okay, I'm going to keep track of your... So I know whether I'm going to get a TPK or not. I'm going to make sure I'm paying attention to your HP.
We got to keep... Yeah, we might have to run, but not yet.
Good run. There are other options. I won't say anything else. So now he's going to swipe at Cam. No, he only has one action. He can't do two. So now it's your guys' turn.
Who has the blood?
Yeah,
I think I
it's up
did,
to
but
you
I couldn't
guys.
remember for sure.
Well, Dirge was the one that got it.
I
But
got it off the truck.
Yeah, but...
does it matter who?
I don't know if it really matters, but I don't know if it really happened or whether it's just in my mind that I wanted to give it to Cam because I wanted Cam to accidentally get something in his mouth.
Cam was definitely talking about that. So I will allow him to have it or whoever wants it.
Yeah, I kind of don't want it. I want Cam to have it because I want him to get killed by the werewolf and not me.
And basically, it's kind of arbitrary, but the blood bag is worth 12 hit points. Just any kind of blood bag is 12. So, like if you took, you can pretty much drink however much you want from it and get that many hit points.
One gulp is 1 hit point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, any additional effects from this being the special blood we...
Well, that you'll have to find out.
Find out the hard way.
Gotcha, okay. Well, if Dirge does not have a specific plan at the moment, I think Cam is going to run back to the Grand National and, turn the ignition and try to run over the werewolf with the Grand National.
Okay. Well, we'll see. I'll give you. You don't need to roll, but I will probably. I mean, you guys were kind of like right there, though. I mean, you stepped right out of your car. Didn't really have to like walk, so you could probably get in and turn the engine, and at least get it started and probably next turn can try to run over him.
That seems reasonable to me.
It may or may not work, but I'm going to try to enthrall him. Don't know if I can enthrall the werewolf, but I'm going to look into his eyes and say, "You don't want to do this. You don't want to fight us. We're brothers of the night. Calm down. That's okay. That's your good boy. Who's your good boy? Who's your good boy? Just gonna calm down. That's your good boy." And we'll see if I can enthrall the werewolf. I don't even know if I can. I'm just throwing it out there.
You got to roll a 9 or higher.
9? Okay, come on, man. I could do that. Come on. If I ever needed a 9, I got a 9 exactly. Look at my little 9. I 9 exactly.
Well, that means the way that I've been kind of doing that, to be consistent, I will say that yes, he is enthralled, but it's like under a minute. So you do have 59 seconds, I guess.
Yeah, good. Then I'm going to back up and get the fuck out of the way. Is what I'm going to do.
Okay. You're not going to enthrall him to do something?
No, I just want him to calm down and stand there for a second so Ryan can run over him, and I'm going to back the hell out of the way. Okay. Not like he'll let himself get run over, but I don't want him to attack me this round, that's for sure.
Okay,
yeah.
He's enthralled, so you've kind of just calmed him down, and he's just standing there.
Stay.
Yeah, so he's in a trance, and he can't do anything for his turn, so I will allow Cam to try to plow through this guy.
All right. So what do I need to roll to do that?
I would say, honestly, like, probably not very hard. I would have to say that's probably easy roll just to hit a non-moving target. So I would just roll a 3 or higher.
I rolled a natural 12.
Bam.
Okay. So is that 9? So you rev your engine and just slam into this guy. Yeah, I see the 12. And he is flown back, and you see him fly out, to the ground, and takes 9 points of damage, and now he's pretty fucked up. And he's still lying on the ground. Dirge, I don't know if you wanted to do anything.
I do, if I can. I want to, if he's lying on the ground, kind of helpless and whatever, I don't want to waste time turning into anything. I know I can't drink his blood, but fangs are coming out, and I'm going to run over there and try to rip out his throat with my teeth.
Okay.
While he's still discombobulated on the ground.
All right. Well, I will then say that he is, since he is discombobulated, I would go down to a challenging roll. He's still pretty tough, so 6 or higher.
Okay, here we go. I got a 9 again, exactly 9. Even though I needed a 6, I have the same 9.
Okay. And that's, he had 3 left, I believe. So, and you did 3.
Oh yeah. Like
So
6 to 9, yeah.
He is at 0. You viciously sink your teeth into his neck, and blood erupts, but you don't drink it. You just tear out some fleshy bits from his throat, and he starts gurgling. And then you start to see him transforming back into himself, a naked man. And
maybe we should get the hell out of here, Dirge.
Yeah, I know.
Although I assume that ramming into him with the Grand National has to have caused some significant amount of damage to the car as well.
yeah, you definitely have dented the car, which is too bad, but I thought that was probably going to happen. I thought it was going to happen during the bicycle, fight scene possibly, but it's not like totally wrecked or anything. It's just you've got the hood is kind of buckled up, and the bumper is smashed in, but you think it'll still drive.
That body damage is crazy expensive, and we're gonna have to find a shop that's open at night.
So what do you think we should do with Captain Unconscious over here?
I don't know. I mean, excuse me. I'd say drag him off the road or something, but somebody will find him eventually. Might as well just leave him. People can wonder why there's a, dead naked guy in the road with stripper clothes lying on the street not too far away. And here's my question, though, is maybe we should be walking back to the car while we're having this conversation, but, this guy. And did we get the sense that I can't remember if he said anything or not, but he's portraying Lucian as well, right? I mean, this whole...
Yeah, he was actually a spy
right.
for his werewolf pack.
Yeah.
Just pretending to be Lucian's human servant. And he had fooled Lucian by wearing, cologne so he didn't smell like a wolf.
Right. That's why he always reeked of that cologne. Well, here's my question. Where do we go? Where do we take the blood? We take this back to Lucian, who may or may not even believe us. Might throw us down in the basement. Or he might have planned to do that anyway. Or do we take it back to fucking Ben Odom in the sewers? It's hard to know what the best play is here.
Yeah, I really don't know, to be honest. I think of all the options, I think I probably trust Ben the most, and even then it's not very much, so...
I know. I'm just afraid Lucian's going to be pissed off.
Well, he will be, but, so here's my thinking, right? So we go back to Lucian and we say, hey, check it out. Rudy totally betrayed you. He was actually a werewolf the whole time, sucker. And then he's just going to be pissed that he got betrayed and that he got fooled, and then we're going to end up in the basement.
Yeah, it's called shoot the messenger, right? Yeah.
That's my thinking.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm worried about, too. I also think he might have been planning on doing that anyway. But here, we better get in, and I'll get in, and I'll drive, and I'll go ahead and put on Neat 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 by The Damned on the cassette player, and anyway, yeah. So again, hard to know exactly what the best thing to do is, but I like you tend to trust Ben just ever so slightly more, only because I haven't personally been into any torture basement he might have.
Well, and he of course, told us about the torture basement in the first place. So that is just one little point, one little tally mark in the trust versus don't trust column.
Right, and we were able to verify. We were able to trust and verify. And, yeah, I know, but I'm almost expecting betrayal everywhere I look in this dark new life we have.
Well, maybe we just go make our own dude brood, dude.
I know. We might have to find some more dudes, though, and make them into brood dudes. But I guess, and let's stay away from those kids. What's that club called of the kids who were, like, hunting down vampires in this town?
Puss.
Dork or Puss. Yeah, that was it. Gotta stay away from Puss. We'll just convert dudes. No, but we gotta keep an eye on this. It's a dangerous world. Just, man, being a vampire doesn't make life easier, does it?
Just longer, not easier.
Yeah, it's longer. There's really more shit, actually, when it comes right down to it. With no gift of death at the end. At least. As I'm assuming my soul's gone, too, I don't think I get to go to the good place now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, it's not like it's your fault, right? I mean...
I know, right? But
I don't think that you can be excluded based on... I mean, you can only be excluded based on choices you make and the behaviors you engage in, right? Not because somebody else took it from you, can you? I don't know. I don't know how... I'm not a theologian. I don't know anything about, religion and stuff.
I don't know, but if there's any kind of God I could believe in, it'd be more like what you're talking about. But speaking of actions, I say as we drive along, is any of that Arnold blood going to accidentally splash in your mouth or what?
I was very seriously considering it for the little fight we had with Rudy back there, but it turned out that the car really fucked him up, so I didn't really need to.
Yeah, that car. Yeah, that car really did fuck him up. Because I thought that fight scene was going to last a lot longer, but took care of him pretty easily.
Yeah,
although Dirge did take half of his hit.
I was going to say, I'm feeling pretty peaky. I'm going to pull over up by this Circle K up here. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to pull into the Circle K.
Okay.
Is there anybody in there? I mean, is there any customers in there? This is like nighttime, right? Hopefully it's not super crowded.
Yeah, well, it's never super crowded at night. So, I don't know. I'll have to roll. I'm going to roll a D12, and even there is, and odd there isn't a customer.
Okay.
There is the clerk, of course. I rolled 3, so there is not a customer.
Okay, well, yeah, come with you want, Cam, but I got to get a drink. I'm going to pick up a big gulp.
And I'm going to hang out here and keep the engine running, but you gulp on that clerk all you want.
All right.
Do you actually get a big gulp cup?
I really was going to walk over to the machine, right? And I'm going to get the cup out and fill it up with ice. Like I'm getting a cup of ice, and then I want to walk up to the clerk. Hey, how much for a cup of ice? Hey, wait, does it have one of those like bulletproof glass window things in between me and him, or?
Nah, it's not.
Okay, good. So, hey, how much for a cup of ice, dude?
Ice is free.
Okay. How much for blood?
Blood.
And
you one of them freaks?
I'm going to enthrall him. Don't you just want to give me a little bit of blood? Just a little tasty blood. Who's your good boy? Who wants to give me some blood? Now every time I enthrall somebody, I'm going to use that dog voice. Now I'll try to just calm down and let it happen. I'll try to enthrall him.
6 or higher.
3. He thinks I'm a freak.
Oh, wait, did I? I don't remember. I was... Yeah, it's still it would still be challenging because you're. What did you roll 3?
I wasn't able to do it. I only rolled a 3.
But it actually would be. I think I did make it easy for you to. The one easy thing, I could be wrong, but to actually drain blood is actually just an easy roll. But
Well, I'll take it.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll that then.
Okay. Well, then I'll just lean over the counter and bite his neck, like poke it with my tooth and let it drain into the cup a little bit. And
okay. Well,
I guess theoretically I'm draining blood though, so I'll make the roll as if I was
okay.
Doing the activity. I was just letting it drain into the cup for color. But and this time I got another freaking 9.
Okay.
This thing's weighted. Yeah,
Well,
I want to drink 6. I want 6 gulps of blood, please.
Well, that's exactly what you needed, and so you've got a big gulp of blood.
Yeah,
and he just collapses.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually walk
counter.
over to the. I'm gonna walk over to the, area. They probably have I know it's just Circle K, but they probably got one section of a shelf that's got Tylenol and Band-Aids or something. I'm gonna get a Band-Aid, a box of Band-Aids, and open it and go put a Band-Aid on his neck. And then I'm gonna belatedly look around for a security camera, and then think, oh shit, and run out.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that, and you can join Cam again in your car.
In your absence, Dirge, I ejected your damned tape, and I have been trying to tune in some records or some radio stations, and unfortunately, as you exit the Circle K, you hear "Love on the Rocks" by Poison. Except for it sounds like they're singing "Blood on the Rocks."
Blood on the Rocks. Yeah. Well, I'll roll my eyeballs ostentatiously to show how cool I am. That I pretend I think Poison sucks. Actually, in real life, I actually don't like Poison, but I think that Dirge secretly might, and he tries to look like he doesn't.
Yeah, it's harder not to like Poison in the 80s than it is now. It's easy to not like them now because they do.
Right.
But in the 80s, maybe you can understand. Maybe there's a certain appeal to it just because it sounds 80s.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that I think they suck as people or anything. Just not one of my go-to listening choices these days.
Yeah, well, and that VMA performance where CeCe DeVille just played the completely fucking wrong song, and Bret Michaels punched him in the face and ran off stage or whatever. I mean, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah. I think there's a couple on-stage punching stories from those guys. So, but
well, now they did "Rock You Like a Hurricane," right?
No, that
was
Scorpions.
Oh, okay.
That was German. That's
German.
Right. Rock You Like a Hurricane.
Well, I always thought that song was "Raunchy Like a Hurricane." That's what I heard when I "Raunchy Like a Hurricane."
Speaking of misheard lyrics, there was a Phil Collins song. Well, you know what? We don't need to go in this digression. But there was a Phil Collins song that, and I can't even remember what it was. I just remember that. Oh, "Invisible Touch."
Yeah. Great song.
Invisible
Genesis.
And I thought it was "Invisible Top." I'm like, shit, you see her titties?
Yeah, invisible top, man. That's great.
So stupid.
Well, send in to GooniesWorldPodcast@gmail.com your favorite misheard lyrics, and we will share them on the show. We'll read them out. I swear we will. Send us some freaking lyrics that you misheard. Will somebody send us an email? All right. So we got our big gulp, and in fact, I'm hoping that I can fill up the big gulp and not kill the dude. I'd like to at least offer Cam a few swallows. You probably hadn't eaten yet today, so hopefully.
Yeah, I'll take a couple sips, but I'm not down any. So it's just for
just
for
for
color.
hunger.
Yeah, just to satiate your hunger.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't think about this till I had already done what I had to do, but I'm not so sure that I might not be on a camera doing that, so cops might end up looking for me eventually. But so they already think I'm a missing person. But I might have just crossed a line I can never come back from.
Funny you should say that, because how does the sensor inside of a camera like that pick up light with mirrors, right?
Oh wait, yeah, dude, totally. Yeah, I bet we don't show up on film.
Might be.
We should do experiments, man. We need to go find a camera and get some film, and because God knows it's the '80s and we can't use our phones.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But we'll have to just do some experimenting with that. Yeah, if we don't show up in a mirror, maybe we don't show up on film.
Just a thought. That's all. I mean, who knows? That's not something that they taught us in vampire school. So
no, it's not. No, maybe I skipped that day. I don't know.
Well, Lucian's old school, teachers and whatever, probably they don't even know about cameras. I mean, they know about cameras. They just don't know whether they if they work like that or not.
Yeah. It's a good point, though. Anyway, we're back to square one, though, with our question is who to take this to, but my heart tells me Ben.
I concur. I think the odds of being betrayed by Ben are the lowest of all of our options.
Yeah, but any betrayal wouldn't surprise me. My heart also tells me that. My heart may be black and dead now, but I still listen to it.
All right. Well, Ben told you if you wanted to see him again, you could just go into any sewer and start walking, and you'd come to some sentries.
That's true. Maybe we ought to go back to, what was it, the tar pit? Was it the name of the club?
Yeah.
It was near there where we first, we could go back to that same manhole cover where they put the blindfold on us. Not that it probably matters too much, but...
No, but at least we probably have a good sense of the quickest way to find sentries from that location versus anywhere else, so...
Yeah. So, you can pull into that, the tar pit parking lot, and it was just kind of, there was an alleyway nearby, and you find that same manhole cover, and you pull it up and drop back down into the sewer, and last time you had Ethel leading you, but you remember it was just you just walked a short ways, and then you do see not too long after, you do see the same two sentries standing there, and they say, "Hold on." And he one of the guys takes out a walkie-talkie, and he says, you hear him say, "Boss, we got those two vampires here that were here the other night. What do you want me to do?" And then you hear Ben say, "Do they have the blood? Do you guys have the blood?"
A nod.
"Yeah, they got the blood." "All right, have them stand right there. I will come to you." "All right, boss."
He's coming to us and not letting us in. This is a little weird, but okay.
Sounds a little odd. Be on your guard.
Well, and you do see, after a while, you see Ben himself come walking up through this tunnel, and he says, "I'm glad you came back. I hear you have the original blood."
Yes, that is correct. I assume you're going to want it?
As I have said, I just didn't want Lucian to have it. In fact, after doing some research, I think I have a plan that involves you guys having the blood. But walk with me a little bit. No blindfolds are necessary. I want to...
Because he's going to kill us. No, I'm joking.
I want to speak with you alone because I fear there are spies back at the main chamber.
All right, just take us for a little walk then, Ben. Let's hear what you got to say.
Hey, listen, Ben, while we're walking, you don't have any minions or henchmen who wear a lot of cologne, do you? Because we just tangled with Rudy, who was Lucian's, human thrall. We thought. Turns out he was just a werewolf in disguise. So...
No, werewolf. I don't think I have anybody that I've noticed smelling of cologne.
All right, good.
And he takes you to this kind of side tunnel, and he looks around, and you see him stomp on this little cockroach, and he says, "Just wanted to make sure. You never can be too safe." And he says, "So my spies have alerted me to some intel, and it turns out that I know what Lucian wants this blood for. He, in fact, does want to. He believes this will turn him into a daywalker, and that is why I have no doubt he's going to. If you were to bring this blood to him, he would take it and drink it himself and become a daywalker. I do believe it. That is the result that would happen, although it is not the only thing that you need. There is also a prayer that must be said at sunrise. This is a prayer that can only be found in the Egyptian Book of the Dead. And so there are several options we can do. I think, first let me ask you if you've drinking the blood at all.
No.
It was a little tempting, I'm not going to lie, but we held off.
Yeah. We did see some dudes with, Ankh tattoos on the back of their necks, the blood bank. And we were talking about daywalkers and Egyptian daywalkers. Sounds like we weren't as crazy as we thought.
Yes, I think you were wise to believe the Egyptians, they were probably the donors and, or donor of this blood. And, I think, if I were to drink this blood, then I would be tempted to go after Lucian myself. But I think I shall pass, because then I will incur the wrath of the whole network of broods. And they will never stop hunting me or my followers. Are not safe. But you two, I must admit that I have used you a little bit. I think you two, if you were to drink this blood and perhaps go back to Lucian, I have another bag of blood I could give you to fool Lucian, and perhaps free some of those vampires that are kept in the basement. And then I would suggest for you two to, if you do not want to be hunted, for you to leave town. It won't be safe here, but it's up to you.
All right. What do you think, Cam?
Well, so what I'm hearing is that, and let me just read this back to you and make sure that I've got this correct. The plan here is to take a bag of blood to Lucien, a fake bag of blood to Lucien, tell him that it's the one he wants. But this is after we've already drank the RH null?
Yes, the RH null will, of course, allow you to... Well, let me tell you, I left out the most important part. So if you're confused, that's on me, I'm sorry. But this Egyptian Book of the Dead, I've seen it before, and it can be found in Lucien's basement. That's where you'll need the prayer, if in fact you want to become daywalkers, and I don't know why you wouldn't, but of course it is tempting for myself to become one, but as I've said, my place here is in the sewers with my people.
Okay, so we drink the Arnold, go to Lucien, give him the fake blood, tell him it's the Arnold. He drinks it, he dies. We go down into the basement, let everybody out, read the prayer from the Egyptian Book of the Dead at sunrise, and skip off happily ever after.
Yes, that is exactly what I propose. And I believe that it would be a matter of just switching the labels on these blood bags.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Well, that... so now, you say the blood that we're going to give to Lucien is going to kill him?
No, the blood will not kill him, but if he were to walk into the sunlight thinking he is now a daywalker, well, he will be in for a rude awakening.
I see.
Now, if you had some werewolf blood, if he drank that, of course, that would certainly kill him.
Well, we could have gotten some, but I didn't think about it at the time. So.
Yeah, I didn't think about it at the time either. But
Yes. Well, I don't think I don't think we need to worry too much about Lucien. But it's just that if you go into the basement, you will find the book. I believe I last saw it in a chest there, kind of just sitting with other junk stored away.
yeah. Well,
And I'm hoping that you can perhaps free some of the vampires.
me too. Well, we should probably wait till just a little bit before sunrise, right then, Cam? Because then worst comes to worst, we just run out of the house and he tries to chase us and fries.
Well, only if we get the... Well, I suppose you can, cockroach or do whatever you need to do to get the actual book, so...
Well, at least to open the door, but it's very likely he'll notice us getting in there. I mean, somebody's going to try to stop us. So, we have to be ready.
And you do recall that Lucien was expecting you after this... he didn't say exactly what time after you get the blood. And then he was going to throw a party for you. But
Mm-hmm.
it's up to you what time you want to arrive there.
Well,
Well, he's going to have to go down to the basement and get the book to read their prayer, isn't he? Or maybe he memorized it. I don't know.
Yeah, he might have it memorized. You don't know.
he made a photocopy.
Well, either way, I suppose we need to switch these labels and drink this orange.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's switch the labels.
Okay. Well, Ben's got he's wearing this long gray trench coat, and he takes out a bag from inside pocket, and it's just a typo negative blood whole label there, and you can take that off and put it on yours, and vice versa.
Okay. Well, I guess cheers, right, Cam? Bottoms up.
Halvesies for me, halvesies for you.
All right.
Yeah, you do think that if you split it equally, that should be enough for both of you to have the effects. And you don't need to roll anything to drink it. You, because it's just a bag. You can puncture it with your fangs and drink.
Does it taste special?
It doesn't taste any different than the blood that you've had, but once it's going down, and going into your bloodstream, you feel a tingling.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's just warm and tingly, and you feel like a bit stronger as well.
All right, well, what time is this? Should we get heading over to Lucian's and pay that little sucker a visit?
I guess we might as well. We're not going to, yeah, we've got to. There's nothing more we can do to plan or anything, I think. We'll just go walk into the lion's den.
All right, so you guys can pop back out of the sewer, back to your car, and drive back to the castle. And I don't think I described it, but there's a little gate there that is just kind of automatically opens, just a sensor entered in. There's like this long kind of winding driveway up the hill to the garage, and you can actually hear music coming out of the castle when you get close. And you can park and go in the front door if you want.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so you guys step in, and you guys see that the whole first floor of the castle, there's a bunch of those red streamers, and there's red balloons, and and you see there's actually quite a few vampires now that you hadn't seen before. Normally, this place was pretty barren, but now there's quite a few vampires hanging out, and you see on these couches there's also like a bunch of pretty, like, there's slaves here. You don't know if they're vampires or humans or what, but there's some debauchery going on, and some unspeakable things are happening to some of these poor people, and but yeah, you guys walk in and you see Lucian, and well, first let me ask you, okay, never mind. You've drinking the original, so I'm assuming you don't have the didn't just put the bag, the empty bag, like on your, or at least the label.
No.
You've changed the label. All right.
Over to the typo, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Lucian sees you and he says, "Bittens, you have arrived. Come in. I've already started the party. I didn't even know if you were going to return or not, but I see that you have. And do you have my blood that I asked you to bring?"
Of course, but I have just a little teensy-weensy question there for you.
Okay, well, this is the time for parting, not questions. What do you want?
I was just wondering if you've seen your buddy Rudy around.
Rudy is AWOL. He's a very bad boy. I will give him spanking when he shows up, if he does.
I don't think he will be showing up. I got a little surprise-a-doodle for you there, Lucian. He's a werewolf.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think he's always drenched in cologne? He's trying to hide his doggy smell. He tried to take the blood from us.
Rudy did that?
He did. I had to kind of run him over with the Grand National. Got a little dinger on the hood there. Kind of bent up the bumper a little bit, but fucked him up pretty good.
Did you? So is Rudy gone?
He's gone.
Well, he was incapacitated. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I don't think we killed him. I'm not 100% sure though.
Well, I cannot believe it. I don't ever mourn humans, so I'm not sad, but I'm shocked. I mean, I certainly don't care about werewolves, but I feel so betrayed.
No, it makes you wonder who else you could trust around here, right?
Well, I know I can trust you. Isn't that right?
Well, of course. We
obviously.
had to take Rudy down just so he wouldn't take this stupid freaking blood.
I know. We brought you the blood and everything. I'm just saying, all the other right-hand men, just be careful.
Oh, yes. Well, I will be. Yes, well, you guys, you've done a great job. Let me see this blood here. Give it to me now. And he takes it and he reads it. The original, yes, and takes a whiff of it. He doesn't seem to notice anything strange. Oh, yes, this is very special blood, and after the party, I will show you what I wanted this blood for. Yes, you will be witness to a miraculous event.
So is it going to give you, like, special powers and stuff?
Oh, yes, I will become like a god. Yes, and you will have the pleasure of witnessing it. But don't you worry about that right now. We must party. And he takes you into where they have all the couches, and there's a bunch of this vampires, shady-looking vampires you haven't seen before, hanging out, and they look kind of bloated, like they're, like bloated ticks, like they just been drinking blood all night, and but Lucian is still going strong, and he says, you want to, I've got some fresh slaves. You want to partake some, or are you feeling hungry?
We stopped at a Circle K on the way here. I just ate, but definitely later on. Yeah.
Okay, later on maybe. Yes, okay, let's party. And I don't know, did they have karaoke machines in the 80s yet?
Well, in Japan, certainly they did, I would think.
Well, let's say he got this from Japan then. He's going to put on some music and sing along. And I just pictured him
Can it
singing.
be Eddie Murphy's 1985 hit Party All the Time?
Yes. He's going to play that and Lionel Richie's All Night Long.
Oh, yeah.
Time to party, something, fiesta, forever.
Forever.
And
Little did everyone know that was a vampire song.
Yeah. All night long.
All night.
Yeah. And, you know, you're kind of get the feeling, though, that this party is obviously more for him than for you guys. And you do see the other two, well, there was the one woman who had been teaching you, Florina. She's there, and she's actually not, you know, she's kind of just keeping an eye on you guys, actually, staring at you. And then there's another guy that you have seen before. I haven't mentioned him, but he's another elder vampire, and he's kind of a aristocratic looking guy named Desmond. He's got high cheekbones and curly black hair, and he's wearing a white shirt that I think Sean will probably know what I'm talking about, but it's like a Seinfeld type puffy shirt.
Yeah, it's like the pirate shirt. I don't want to be a pirate. Yeah, the puffy shirt.
The puffy shirt, yeah. And tight black trousers. And but he's also standing there watching the party, but not partaking anything. And so you guys, the party kind of stretches to the break of dawn, and just as it does become, when there is the first hint of daylight, Lucian actually, you know, he was kind of sprawled out on the couch, and he sits up and he says, he tells Florina and Desmond, he says, grab the bittens. And, you know, before you really can do anything, they grab you, not violently, but they just take a hold of you. And he says, okay, we're going to the roof now. And he leads you up these turret, like you go, actually are taken into one of these turret tower things in one of the corners of the castle. Mm-hmm. And there's a spiral staircase that goes up to the roof, and you're kind of, but they don't, you're in a little doorway when you're up there, not in the sunlight. And they're just holding you there while Lucian, he is drinking this blood, and you see him step out. There isn't yet enough light to do anything, but he steps out onto the roof. This is facing east. The sun's just barely coming over the horizon. And you hear Desmond say, "Boss, what about the prayer? You're supposed to say a prayer." "I don't need the prayer. That That's mumbo jumbo. It's the blood that matters. It's only the blood. And so you see the sun comes up a little bit more and a little bit more, and he outstretches his arms and says, "Let me have it. Let me have it. Give it to me." And then he erupts in flames, and he doesn't run or anything. He just stands there stubbornly and catches, just burns, and then finally just explodes into ash, and the ash, carries away in the wind, and you hear Florina and Desmond cry out, "No! This is your fault! You've done this to him!"
He didn't say the prayer. I don't know what you're talking about. This sounds like it's on him.
I know, the prayer, I think, is probably, he should have said the prayer, right?
You're right, but this is still your fault somehow. Fuck you.
No.
And they
We need to get out of here.
they take you again. They grab you and lead you down the turret tower, and they they're crying and they're very upset, and they take you to the basement door. And I'll just mention that the basement door is actually, just so we're clear, the door is faces, even though it's at the back of the castle, it doesn't, it faces, there's like right behind the stairs to go up to the second floor, there's a little wall there, and the door is faces the front of the castle, and you and the stairs go down that way, and but Desmond punches in this code at the door and opens the door, takes you down into the basement, and you see the people. There's still a few vampires chained up here, and more humans in this cages, and you see Desmond. He brings you to this there's kind of like a side room in this basement. It's kind of like, in a modern basement, it would probably be like a utility closet or a furnace room or something. But there's no door. It's just this open room, and that faces towards these two windows that are kind of there's no light coming in through them yet, because the sun, hopefully this makes sense, but the sun is being blocked by the wall, but once it aligns with the window, once it gets high enough, then the light will come through, and the light beams would be going right onto this wall that you were chained to. So you're actually chained in what appears to be silver chains, which in this universe, or at least this system, I'm saying that silver doesn't kill vampires, but it weakens them. So you'll be at a disadvantage. Now, you're put into these chains, just the manacles that are tied or attached to this wall, and you hear Desmond say, "I can't find my key," and the female Florina, she says, "I've got mine," and you're locked in with these manacles, and they storm off, and they go up the stairs, and they leave you in this basement alone.
Well, I'm going to look around. Do I see a chest anywhere, like a corner, or it might contain the prayer?
Yeah, you actually do see. There's a little bit of light in here now, and you do see. This is kind of ambient light, but you see a chest. It's actually next to one of the cages of this human guy that looks pretty bad. Yeah, there is most of these people look like half dead. And there's about I'd say there's probably about 4 vampires chained up right now, just like you guys are, but they're actually facing you in the main part of the basement. You can kind of see them to your left.
And everybody down here chained up or in a cage or something, where there's nobody free roaming?
No, yeah, nobody is free roaming.
Okay.
But just the people in the cages. There is one guy that's next to this chest that he's.
You think he could reach it? You think he could reach it?
He could reach it. He's conscious, and he could reach it. He could stick his arm through there if he wanted.
Hey, buddy.
What?
How'd you like to get out of here?
Is this some kind of trick?
No, it's not a trick. Look, we're on your side, okay? But I need you to do something. You reach into that chest. You find a book, a very special book. Can you do that?
No. I guess. I don't trust you vampires.
No, you could do it. You should trust me, because I could enthrall you and make you do this, but I'm asking you to do it of your own free will.
You can't do anything in those chains. I know. I've seen. You're helpless.
No, I'm not helpless. Things will just be harder. That's all.
Well, I'll try. I'm just a pizza boy. I came here to deliver pizzas, and they tricked me. I've been here. Oh, it's horrible. Oh.
You're going to go back to your family soon.
He reaches out and kind of scooches this chest closer to him, and it's not locked. It's just an old chest, and kind of actually tips it over, and you see a bunch of stuff fall out. You do see a book. It's bound. It's an old-looking book. You see some kind of like ceremonial type stuff. You see some daggers come out and some robes and stuff like that. And there, what I tried to get in the chest. I tipped it over. What do you want?
Yeah. Okay, Cam, there's the book, but the problem is we're still chained to this wall. I don't know. I feel pretty weakened myself. What about you?
Yeah, I'm not feeling too hot, but even if I was at full strength, I don't know what I could do about this, because, maybe summoning a swarm of silver-eating insects? I don't think there's such a thing.
Well, no, maybe you could, summon a swarm of something, and drag that over, summon a swarm of rats to bring us the book or something.
Well, I could try.
You see, when I said he tipped it over, he can still reach this stuff. He might be able to slide this stuff over to you. Yeah, it was still within his reach.
Well, slide it over here, dude, before the place is crawling with rats.
What do you want, the book?
Yeah, slide the book over. Slide the book over.
Oh.
Who's your good boy? Slide the book over.
Yeah, he'll slide the. He'll have to roll for it, and I'll say it's a challenging roll. Okay.
Don't screw this up.
Okay, and he got a 5. Oh no, that failed. Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
He slides it, but it actually slides to a vampire. Well, because these other vampires are chained against the wall. He was, a human in a cage, and he slides it kind of halfway towards you guys. Now it's sort of like beneath one of these vampires. He perhaps could slide it over with one of his, because their legs aren't, and your guys' legs aren't shackled, just your wrists. So it's underneath this. Actually, the vampire that that Dirge had talked to before. So if you want to maybe try to get him to slide it the rest of the way, you could try.
Well, don't you already know that guy, kind of?
Yeah, I kind of know that guy. Hey, dude, listen.
What?
You got to kick that book over here. I can get us all out of here.
I don't want out, man.
Why not?
'Cause I deserve to be here.
Okay, well, we don't. So would you just do me a favor and kick that book over here?
You must have done something wrong.
Yeah.
Be here. Oh,
come on,
this.
be a good guy. Come on.
If I kick it over, will you just punish me a little bit? Just a little bit. Maybe
Sure.
just a titty twister or something.
I'm sure we can work something out. Okay.
If you get out of here, well, all right.
I'll give you a nice painful root canal. How's that?
Yeah. Oh, that sounds fucking nice. All right, here I go. And he's gonna make a challenging roll too, with his legs, with his feet, to try to scoot this book over. All right, so okay, he rolled a 9.
Hey.
So slides over to where you can both reach it with your legs, with your feet.
Okay.
You can, and actually now you can read the book, and it is the Egyptian Book of the Dead, but it says Ru Nu Pret Im Heru, and then under that it's like translated. It says Book of Coming Forth by Day, which is, I didn't even make up. That's a real book, and you see, you can flip through it with your toes if you want.
Yeah,
that's the only way.
Yeah.
All right. When you guys, are you both flipping through it, playing footsie, or one of you just doing it?
I'll let Dirge do it, and I assume he can, once he finds it, we can both read it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You can take your foot and your toes and open the book and flip through it, and it's not very hard to find it because somebody kind of just highlighted this with a pink Sharpie or a pink highlighter. Yeah. And this, you think this is an ancient book. This isn't, it's not a modern translation.
Lucian has no respect.
No, he has no respect. He took a highlighter to it, and now you can both read the prayer, and I'll assume you say it out loud.
Yeah.
Just as the sun is starting to get aligned with these two windows these two twin windows that are pointing right at you guys.
Hope this works.
Yeah, you really hope. Otherwise, as you look down by your feet, there's also some ashes there. So you're not the only ones that have been put here and burned. And you read, O Ra, deliver me from darkness's eternal domain.
O Ra, deliver me from darkness's eternal domain.
Rise once more and giveth me your golden shower.
Rise once more and giveth me your golden shower. And me and Cam look at each other.
Let not my body combust in your light.
Let not my body combust in your light.
For your blood is my blood.
For your blood is my blood.
Permit me, O Ra, to walk in your glorious day.
Permit me, O Ra, to walk in your glorious day.
And that's it. And right as you finish saying that, the sunlight pokes through and shoots these two beams right at you. And you hear the Beatles, here comes the sun. And it feels good. Feel the warmth on your skin feels nice, and you don't burn up. Oh. And you feel more tingling now. And you are now daywalkers, and you also strangely feel much even stronger than before. And so, you don't feel weak anymore.
It's almost like the sun is sort of energizing us, even.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're like superhero vampires now.
Wow.
And you can attempt to break out of these chains if you want.
I want to break free. Let's do it.
All right, so now
strain.
It is just I don't want to go too overboard. Because before it would have been almost impossible. Now, though, it's a challenging roll.
Okay.
Oh, 5.
Oh, 4.
Okay. Well, you haven't succeeded. You haven't braked out yet. But you can tell it's weakening.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I'll give you another chance. I mean, really, well, you're no longer, rushing against time or anything.
I'd take 20.
Yeah,
I rolled a natural 12 again.
I just did too. I was really rolled a natural 12. It's fucking awesome.
All right. Well, at the same time, you guys both just break right out, pull the chains right out of the wall, and you can just pry off these manacles.
Well, that's great.
I'm keeping the manacles on and using the chains as weapons if I need to.
Okay.
But first I'm going to kick the guy in the balls who wanted to be punished.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yes.
Everybody else, let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's go around and try to yank everybody else out of the walls. I guess we probably don't have a key. That one dude said he forgot his key. Maybe he dropped it. Is it on the floor?
No.
That's too bad.
That was something that you missed earlier. And you'll just have to... but I'm just going to say that with enough time, you are able to break out everyone else from these chains. As long as, actually with these, you don't want to touch the silver, but you see these ceremonial daggers that came out of this chest. You can actually, if you take enough time, you can use that to pick open these locks on the chains. And you get some of these people are too weak or dead, but there's some, about three vampires and about 2 humans are well enough and alive enough to, walk and although it is sunlight out, but these vampires can make a dash out of it. If you guys want to go out those windows, I didn't necessarily describe them, but those windows are they're just like open. Their shutters are open. There's no glass or screen or anything, so you could go out the window and head to the garage or wherever you want to go. You don't have to go to, but they're going to run to the vampires. Some of the vampires turn into bats, and they rush out the window as fast as they can, and without taking too much damage, and get to the garage. And where do you guys go?
Well, Cam, wherever we go, we're going to need a ride.
Well, that Grand National still runs. And there's a beach with my name on it not too far away.
All right. So you guys can go to the garage as well. I'm assuming, Dirge, I'm not even going to... This is just the final scene. I will let you turn into an animal of your choice, fly out through this window, and Cam can just fly out. And you do, and you get to the garage, and some of the other one of the vampires turns into back to human form, and he punches in the code to the lockbox because he obviously knows it, and gets the keys to Lucian's 6'4" Impala, Flob the Impala, and he's driving off with that. The other vampires get in with him, and human. And you guys can get in your Grand National, and you drive off into the sunrise. And where do you want to head? Just so we can end with that scene.
There's a great little town near here called Jupiter Springs. Let's move there and start a dude brood. What do you think?
Sounds like a plan, man. How close is it to the beach? Because I gotta get my... now that I'm capable, I gotta get my tan on.
Oh, yeah. No, we'll go to the beach all the time. It's not that far.
Sounds like a plan, then.
All right.
Yeah. All right, you guys headed to Jupiter Springs, then. The Daywalkers are headed.
Plunger will be so happy.
I know, he'll be so secretly happy about this. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, well, and roll credits. That's all I've got.
Nice. Well, good. Nice. Very, very good first effort. I have to say.
I know. Yeah.
Impressed.
Yeah. If you're joining us late, this was Goonie's first game ever as a game master, and he did a great first job. Better than a lot of first jobs I've seen, and maybe waiting 25 years to actually do it helped.
Possibly, yeah.
I think, yeah, it definitely helped. Yeah, I do think I made some rookie mistakes, and I did see some room for improvement. I think the system as well needs some refinement. But overall, yeah, I think it went okay. Kind of had to, like I was telling you before we started it, I did a little steamrolling or whatever you want to call it, railroading, just to get it where I needed it to go. But
that's nothing.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I don't consider that a problem. And as far as mistakes go, and gosh, I'm a veteran GM and I make them all the time. So
yeah, I was actually talking with the guys from Nuked, because he was asking about, sending physical copies of stuff, and I was like, hey, did you ever finish it up? And he's like, yeah, they really enjoyed it, and I was like, I'm sure that I've completely fucked up the combat, and he's like, I didn't notice. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you want us to play your game, let us know. You're going to find out how to get a hold of us in a minute at the end. So we'll be back next time with something completely different.
And then for something completely different.
And then after that, something completely different.
Again.
Hey everybody, if you like our podcast, don't forget to leave us a good rating and or review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Spotify, or wherever you're able. Subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter at Goonies_world, and check out our website at GooniesWorldPodcast.com. Email us at GooniesWorldPodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.